I did my research on the club when I heard that they're interested in me. I did my research and I was like, is this me going to this club at this age? And I said to myself, like, how how did I did this? And after that night, when I asked myself that, the next morning, I can't talk it on this, but
Dujuan Whisper Richards. Will he bounce back to form after surgery? Join Premier 7 right now for the big chat. I think no athlete wants to end his career on an injury. This is a quote from former NBA player of America, Jason Williams, as I am here to share some stories surrounding some concern about Jamaica youngster in a Dujuan Richards. Welcome to Premier 7 everyone with your host yet again, Ryan Nelson. Are you concerned about Dujuan Richards' form? Yes, we can understand that he undergo surgery, but the main point to consider is that will he be available for Jamaica this year to assist in Jamaica quest for the World Cup? Of course, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you are already a subscriber, then you know what to do. So I just have to put across the poll that I had organized surrounding our player. And it states, Dujuan Richards, are you worried that his setbacks, for example injuries, will restrict him from playing for Jamaica this year, 2025? Well, I received 163 votes, with 54% saying yes, 18% saying not sure, and 28% stating no. Well, I have to say there is some concern, of course. However, there was a reaction to the poll from one of the supporting fans in Aguero 31196. He stated that I think he will be good as long as he continued on the form he had before injuries, he will do well. So massive shout out to Aguero for dropping an amazing comment. And of course, even though there are a massive amount of persons being concerned, there is hope for Richards to feature for Jamaica this year. So the topic is Dujuan Richards. Will he be a key player for Jamaica in 2025? From such, I will be talking about his Chelsea reflection, of course, his current injury history and situation. Then let's talk about Jamaica 2025 plan and squad depth. And of course, will he bounce back to form? Then I conclude. I will not discard the question because I myself is concerned about whether Richards will return in time to play for Jamaica. But let's not have any doubts really that it is impossible because the possibility of him playing back for Jamaica is on the books. So how about talking about his Chelsea reflection, specifically when he became the Chelsea player that many persons were very much excited about. This news was way back then in 2024, where Chelsea officially announced Dujuan Richards as their player, and it showed that he can establish himself as Chelsea's main striker if he can maintain his goal scoring form. Chelsea FC announced that Dujuan Richards is officially one of their players. The English club made the announcement via their Instagram post. And at the time, Dujuan Richards was 17 years old. We can all remember that he almost became a Newcastle United player. The thing is, we cannot change the past, we only can reflect and move forward. I have done a small reflection to myself. I went to my past university, let's say on the 8th of February, to just do a little walk and to look on the days that I have struggled and managed to recover. It's like a reflection for Richards if he is there right now thinking about his days at KC when he was a star player and where is that right now. So there's no turning back. Life is always an ongoing thing. Now, let's talk about Dujan's history, about injuries and current situation. Is he an injury prone player? That's the first question. What do you think about such? No, he's not. But he sustained injuries within his career before. And for him, being a Chelsea player, he has struggled to find form at times, but he picked up in 2024 when he banged in a few goals and stuff like that. But the injury is what put him out of the game for a while, and he undergo a major surgery. As you can see here on screen, he was injured once, right? But the surgery was from, let's say, August 7, 2024. And in terms of total games, days 187 days, he missed so far 17 games for Chelsea. That is a lot of games that I would say he missed from the Blues. And it can be very um, pressuring on the mind for him to come back and to recover fast enough for farm because the demand will be there for Jamaica to go to the World Cup in 2026. And Richards has played for Jamaica 10 times, scored once. The game against Trinidad, where he scored that decent goal. We would need a Richards in that squad. But we have players, though, who have been performing on the club level. You know, internationally, Jamaica isn't striking the rock to cause any fire. It's like the rock is in the water same way, and it is being dried off here and there. But Dujuan Richards, he will think about playing for Jamaica soon, and I think he have the time, of course, to recover. But will the farm be there for him to play well enough to be a part of Jamaica plan? Jamaica is short in terms of persons who can score goals. Antonio, he met in an accident before, and it was surprising that nothing major happens based on how the car looked. And Richards is recovering from his injury by with the surgery, so we don't have any much of a firepower striker up front. Bowser is in Mexico. Is he the best that we have so far in farm? Well, we have to say that. And Bailey isn't clicking. We want Mason Greenwood. He's still not ready to come to Jamaica. Not to say he's not ready, but the paperwork have not been completed. Reese Nelson news are not popular as before. So Jamaica is shaky up front. So the plan is for Jamaica to get players ready, but without any firepower up front, then who will score the goals? Bobby Reed, he cannot play as a false nine, even though he scored against Manchester United in the FA Cup. That decent header, but Bobby Reed is more so a 10, and sometimes he play on the right end for Jamaica. Kyle Dixon, we cannot put him up there just like that. He's one of those speedsters that we know that we can put on in the second half like a Cephas who can cause some problems. He will start in games here and then, both of them, Cephas and Kaim, but We want to have a squad that we know how to properly manage and to put players in situations that will not affect their progress in the national setup. So Jamaica doesn't have a deep squad. If Jamaica does, is the quality there? Based on where we're ranked? No. Based on our current form? No. So we need four players to be back on time and help us to go further than just the World Cup. Will Richards bounce back to form? It is untold because sometimes players are injured. They lose their pace, like Ronaldo, but Ronaldo is the GOAT in many persons' eyes. Neymar did not came back to the Neymar we remembered from, let's say, his first thing at PSG, but the Neymar of Barcelona was the main man that many of us can recover. The past will gone, and as I've said earlier out, reflection is what we can only do. We cannot bring the past into the future or into the present. So we're hoping though that Richards can bounce back to form, but will he be available for Jamaica? We would love for him to be because, as I've mentioned earlier out, we need a firecracker up front. And if all goes well in terms of Mason Green's recruitment, imagine having a Mason Greenwood, Alien Bailey, and the Richards starting together, or one or two start together and the other come from the bench. That would be a nightmare if those guys should click, you know. So it's for us to think about, and we're hoping that it will happen in the future. So Dujuan Richards, we know he undergo surgery, but he has missed several games for Chelsea, 17 games, 187 days to this date out, and the concern is there about him coming back and bouncing back to form immediately. Unlike Raul Jimenez, who was at Fulham, he sustained that serious head concussion before, but he's playing brilliantly for Fulham, who is in the top 12 of the Premier League. So some players will come back in the form, some players will take some time, and some players will not. And for Richards, the question is there. And it is Dujuan Richards. Will he be a key player for Jamaica in 2025? People, it is for you to answer and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I believe so, but what do you think? Let me know what you think. All right, so take care and goodbye until we meet again.